did yesterday with the federal tax, but now we're gonna just do it your city or your state tax. So state tax is a little bit more simple, and the city is even more simple than that, okay? So when you do these, you're going to talk about a flat rate. So that just means the city would have something for the entire people. It doesn't really matter how much you make, in a sense. So it's a flat rate, as they call it up here, okay? We're still gonna look at it as a percent of gross income. But like I said, this is gonna be a fixed rate, so it should be a little bit more simple to actually accomplish. Now, the graduated one gets a little bit more complicated, but we'll go through that here in just a little bit. So, the flat rate is, if you turn to page 55, a flat rate again is there, for Lamar's, for instance, they would say your city taxes are 7%, whatever it happens to be. Okay, some cities are a little higher than others. If you would try to buy a house in Lamar's, you would understand that Lamar's prices are a little higher than everybody else's around, okay? So their taxes are probably a little higher than everybody else's also, so they can afford to keep doing the things that they want to do. So when we talk about this fixed part, just make sure that you read exactly what they give you. So in letter A, on page 55, it says LaDonna Traub has to pay a city income tax of 1.5% of her federal taxable income. So again, we have to be able to find our taxable income from what we did yesterday. And again, the taxable income is the amount that you would take back to that chart that we looked at yesterday. So you got to go through that process, take away your deductions, take away your exemptions, find that taxable income, and then do it. So in this right here, they basically did that process for you. That's why this section is a little bit simpler. You don't have to go through the process that Tiff was talking about. So in the next sentence, they say last year her federal taxable income was $34,100. So what amount of city income tax did she pay? So again, make sure that you have your taxable income before you try to take your percentage. But once you have your taxable income, you just take that number, the 34,000 number. So 34,100 times what?
0.015.
0.015. Exactly right. Got to move it 2 decimal places. We had equals, and it tells you what it is.
So that's all you do?
$511.50, but that would be for the whole year. So if you wanted your monthly, you would just divide by 12, and you would pay $42.63 per month for city income tax. And that's all you have to do for those. Okay? So in letter B, pretty much the exact same thing. They just changed the numbers. But again, you have to make sure that you have the federal taxable income, and that's what we did yesterday. So you can ask some questions about that again here in just a second. Now, the little bit complicated part of this section is the next part. The next part involves the chart on the bottom of page 55. And this is where they call it a graduated city or state income tax. And if you notice this here now, so again, you have to find your taxable income. So you got to go through that process that we did yesterday and find your taxable income if they don't give it to you. And then you would bring it to the chart. So if you notice, it's basically, is it between whatever numbers? All right? So is it between 0 and 8,000, so on and so forth? If you have, if you make more than $72,000 after it's taxable income already, you're making a lot of money, so you probably don't really care what they're going to do to you. Okay? So, but notice, now this is where the complication part starts. So, you do all your calculations for federal taxable income and make up a number. I don't care. Make up a relatively small number. Bigger than that. Okay, 700. So, if you had 700, which category would that fall into in my chart? If you just had $700.
Second one.
The very first one, right?
First one.
So So you're gonna take your $700 or whatever it is, and you would only take it times 0.2%, and that would tell you what your taxable income is for this part. Okay? Pick a bigger number. 25,000. All right. So where would 25,000 fit in? Like the fourth one, right? From 24,000 to 32,000. So now go across and read what the next little line says. Your tax is $720 plus 5% of taxable income over 24,000. We said ours was what? 25,000, right? So obviously, this is simple math. That's kind of the object of this one. So anything over 24,000 was only my $1,000, right? So we first have to pay, what did they say, $720? That's an automatic. And then we're going to do what percent of this? 5%, which is 0.05 of whatever's left over. Okay? So you initially have to do this, and then whatever's left over, you would do the percentage of. What's 5% of 1,000? What is it, 50? So we're going to add another $50, and my grand total for this would be $770. Okay, so you just have to make sure that you go through and do the calculation like what they actually tell you. Now, I just made that one up. And again, now where the complication would get to is if you'd have to do the entire process. But they're really making it easier because they're telling you what your taxable income is in these cases. But some of the problems maybe at the end of the chapter, you have to go through the entire process. Okay, so turn the page. Letter C. Jennifer Robler's taxable income last year was $43,600. All right. So again, they've already done what we had to do yesterday. They found their deductions, they found their exemptions, they found all of that, they subtracted it out. This is their taxable income. They would have taken this back to that original chart that we had a couple days ago and found how much taxes they would hold taken out for federal. Now we're doing the state part. So if we take this one though back to our little chart on 55, okay, so where do we fit in at?
4,000.
40,000 to 48,000, right? So how much do we definitely owe? We definitely owe $1,600. Everybody see where I got that $1,600?
Yes.
Okay? Now, what do I do with my 43,600? I always subtract it from the higher end number, or the number on the right. So what was that number? 48,000?
On the left hand or the right hand?
Our number, no. So we want to,
Like 40?
yeah, sorry. I always want to go from the left-hand side, the smaller one. So we're going to go back and use the left-hand number. So how much do we have? $3,600 over, right? So basically the $1,600 is saying in the first 40,000 we have to pay $1,600. Now we're just concentrating on the money that's over my 40,000. And what percentage are we going to take of this? 7%. So then we punch that into our calculator, right? 3,600, 7%. Anybody do it? 0, 0, 2, 21, 25, 1, 2, $252. Okay? So we come back now, and this is the key. We come back and add that to our $1,600, or the first number that we had. So the grand total is $1,852. Now again, this is only my city tax. Okay? So then we would also have that federal tax from the other day. And that's where we would have had that, went through that process and used that other chart. We would have had our FICA taxes, right? So all of these taxes will be lined up on the right-hand side usually of your check stub, if you get a check stub, to show you what they're actually taking out. And then if you have insurance out of there, or if you have a dress code, or your utilities, meaning what you use at work. Maybe you're a mechanic and they take out like tools or something. Maybe you can eat at work and they take that money out of there. All right? So all of these would be listed on the side, and that's what we'll show you, I think, next section. So let's try one all by yourself. Look at letter D and try letter D by yourself. So Stan has a taxable income of $38,200. See if you can get the grand total from the 38,000 or whatever it was. 38,200. I don't think it was A, was it? What letter were we on?
D.
D. Good D?
Oh, you add those?
Add those together, yeah.
Subtract them.
So my grand total is $1,492.
That's it.
$1,492. Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
That's it.
So about like stuff over 72,000.
Make a lot of money anyway and you don't really care. No. They won't give you one. There would be a chart that would keep on going, but they just limited the chart to that section. Yeah. So you don't just get, yeah, if you make that much money, you just,
Is that a lot?
after taxable, yeah, I would say that's quite a bit.
Like, what would you say is average salary in
In Lamar's, wow. It's gotta be pretty decent because you see the number of, I guess, families that only have one person working,
Yeah.
you know? So it's gotta be relatively high. So, does that make sense with the
Yes.
city income tax? Okay, so again, this is a little simpler because they don't make you go through that process of actually finding the taxable income, like we had to yesterday. Okay? That's the only thing you gotta do today. Okay? So, the rest of the time now,